Danny Segura for MMA Junkie. I'm here with Ignacio La Jaula Bahamondes, who returns this Saturday at UFC Baku against Rafael Fiziev. A fight that has a lot of people excited, and some people are labeling it the people's main event here at UFC Baku. It's certainly a great card. Ignacio, I'm used to talking to you in Spanish, but how are you, brother? And how's Baku? I'm assuming first time in Azerbaijan?
Yeah, how are you, Danny? How are you? Dude, yeah, first time here in Azerbaijan. The place is so beautiful, bro. Everything, even the people is super nice. Like the first time I go out for a run, I remember just seeing that view, open my arms, close my eyes, and just thank God to put me on this position. Like who were gonna imagine like a little kid from Santiago, Chile, he was gonna be fighting here in front of thousands of people. So I just feel really blessed for being part of this.
Yeah. By what it sounds like, it hasn't been hostile at all. I'm sure you've ran into fans and stuff. You know, you're fighting one of theirs, right? But they've been cool. They've treated you well.
Yeah, no, they've been super nice. I've been feeling the love. They give us anything we need here. We have a really nice gym. They open the door for us to train whenever we want. The people here, I just feel blessed, man. I really thought it was gonna be a little bit harder because of the crash of cultures. Because I'm Latino and it's way
Yeah.
different than what everything is in here, but. No, it's completely the opposite. They're happy because we here and we brought the UFC here.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited for that card, and see what it looks like. I'm always excited when the UFC goes to a new place. Talk to me about the decision of taking this fight, because it's obviously not an easy one. And then you add the layer that you'll be fighting on his home turf, right? You'll be on enemy territory, even though the fans have been very nice and stuff. I'm sure come fight night they'll make sure they're heard. And yeah, like what big travel as well from you all the way to Chicago to Azerbaijan. I can imagine the multiple flights you had to take. Um, did you think about it twice about this fight, or as soon as you heard it, you're like, all right, let's go. We're packing our bags and we're going to Azerbaijan.
Honestly, my manager got close to me and told me, they offer you Rafael Fiziev, the June 21st. And I said, yes, take it. And I said, wait. She told me, you don't want to know where is it? And I said, oh, yeah, tell me where. It's going to be in Baku, Azerbaijan. And I said, yes, sign it. Where is Baku? Where is Azerbaijan? And she told me, it's on the other side of the world. I said, it's okay. If God, this is the opportunity is giving me, I'm going to take it. I think he's talking to me and telling me, you always look happy whenever I take you to fight Vegas, everything comfortable. But let me see, I'm going to take you out of your comfort zone and let's see if you're still happy, if you're still loving this. And, let me tell you something. I've been loving every little step of this journey. I love being here. I had to come 11 days before. Uh, Everything is awesome. Like I think I'm very grateful and I feel really blessed for living this.
Yeah, yeah, that's great to hear, man. And yeah, I'm excited for this fight. It's gonna be a good one. This is your first fight also as a ranked fighter, right? Does it feel any different now that you're in the rankings, and do fights feel a little bit more? There's more at stake, a little bit more on the line, or does it feel the same?
About the rankings, I never been so much in love of the rankings. I know they change so weird. They give you sometimes, even if you don't deserve it, but what I like is the opponent. I want to take his name. I want to take his name. I want to take his reputation. So that's what I like the most. At the end of the day, for me, it doesn't matter the numbers of the rankings. The all I want is the number one, is the goal. So other than that, I don't want any other number. They don't even need to put the number next to my last name. It's okay. I just want to see the goal in there, the champ.
Yeah. And props to you when we spoke for your last fight. You kind of put it out there. You're like, hey, I've been working a ton on my grappling. I want to get that submission win, and you did get it. What's the plan for this one? What's the strategy? You're facing another dangerous striker here. Are you planning to go the distance, striking battle? Are you trying to use those new skills that we've seen in the octagon and try to use the grappling? What do you think is going to happen here on Saturday?
Well, Fiziev is a striker, just like me. I think wherever he is good, I'm way better than him. And in the ground, like after my fight with Jalen Turner, my ground game, it's been exceeding his limits. My ground game is every time more dangerous. But I would love to take this fight to the 3 rounds. I would like to dominate my opponent for 3 rounds so I have time to show everything I got, everything I got on my arsenal, and take him to the school for 3 rounds.
Yeah. You know what I think about you know that viral Instagram reel that he has where like he gets kicked. I think it was like outside of the UFC and he like does like a matrix thing and dodges a kick. I picture that for 15 minutes. War between you two. Is that sort of what you have envisioned as well?
Yeah, for sure. Like it's gonna be fireworks for 3 rounds, 5 minutes, whatever the fight lasts. It's gonna be fireworks. Fiziev don't play. He got a fight, and I don't play either. I'm gonna stand in there and I'm gonna try to finish him. So it's gonna be exciting to see that fight, how it goes, because I'm willing to die in there. So I hope he's there and he's ready to die too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited, man. And I gotta ask you, like, what do you think a win here would do for your career? Because obviously you're killing it. You're 6-1 in your last 7 fights, 3-fight win streak, 3 finishes in a row, 3 performance of the night bonuses in a row. That's 150K right there that you've pocketed over the last 3 fights and bonuses. So a win here, 4 in a row. Where do you think it'll put you in? What kind of fights do you think it unlocks for you in the division?
A win over Rafael Fiziev, I think it's going to be with a lot of meaning. It's going to be with a lot of meaning because first, I'm going to be fighting him here at his house. Then it's going to be the opponent, Rafael Fiziev, who is a great opponent, a veteran who's been on wars in the UFC. So I think after beating him, after defeating him, I'm gonna be in a good place. I'm gonna be in a good place wherever I can ask for whatever, whoever I want. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the UFC got prepared for me after this.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. You think top 10?
Yeah, I mean, I think I deserve a top 10, and after this fight, it's gonna be it's gonna be the beginning of my title run.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And speaking of title run, your division's getting interesting. We saw that Islam vacated the belt and is going up to 170. And in response, at the end of the month, on June 28th, we're going to see Ilia Topuria and Charles Oliveira duke it out for the vacant title. Who do you think is going to take the vacant belt and be champion at UFC 317?
Ilia Topuria has been doing really good in 145. He reigned that division. I think now the UFC put him his final test. Who is Charles Oliveira. After this fight, we're gonna know. We're gonna know if he is ready for 155 or he's coming back to 145. Just for the love of the sport, just for representing the lightweight division, I'm gonna go with Charles Oliveira.
Mm-hmm. And let's not forget, a few months ago in Mexico, you were at a Q&A, and I forgot who asked you, but they asked you about Ilia Topuria, and you're like, look, I'm down to welcome him to the lightweight division if that's what's needed. Obviously, this was before the booking with Charles Oliveira. Apart from just wanting to fight anyone, anytime, anywhere, is there something to that fight that you like?
Of what? Ilya and
No,
Charles?
you potentially fighting Ilia Topuria.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it's gonna be a interesting fight. Just starting for the looks, for the physiques. I'm really tall, and Ilya's really
Yeah.
small, so it wouldn't be an interesting fight. I think I have everything to win against him. And how I said it that time in Mexico, I would be more than happy to welcome him to the lightweight division. But if not, I know he's gonna wait for me, or we're gonna cross paths anytime soon.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see. Well, we'll see if sort of the paths align and you guys end up fighting one day. Lastly, I do gotta ask you: the UFC is going to Chicago in August, in mid-August. UFC 319. This is pretty
August.
close to this fight, and I'm assuming this fight's gonna be a banger. But I know Chicago is a very important place for you, sort of a second home for you. So I got to ask you, do you even look at that date now that you have a fight in hand this Saturday? Like, is that something you think about potentially getting a big win here and then landing on that card?
You know, it could be a lovely night. You know how I've been telling a lot of people the last time I was a local fighter was long time ago, and I feel like fighting in Chicago would be like the closest to feel as a local, like I was fighting in Chile. You know, how you said it's like my second home. It, that's where I live right now. My kid was born in Chicago, so I feel from Chicago. Like whenever somebody asks me, I live in Chicago, and I say it with proud. So fighting there and giving them a great show, it's more like a dream for me.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that happens. We'll see how things shake out on Saturday, man. Well, excited for this fight again, people. This will be on Saturday during the daytime here in the States, so don't forget about that. UFC Baku. Ignacio Bahamondes will be taking on Rafael Fiziev, an absolute banger you cannot miss. Ignacio, thank you so much for your time, man, and best of luck on Saturday.